of this report came out, surprise, it's out today. What we learned when this came out is that our new president will flat out lie to us, to our faces, and even put it in writing, even when we can check for ourselves and see for ourselves that he is blatantly lying about a really big thing. He apparently will just bracingly lie to us, even about really important national security stuff. And we learned that today if we didn't believe it before. And all right, this is not that complicated. This is the public version. This is the unclassified version of this report. And on every single page of this report, there's a little box at the top. We've shown it here so you can see it. A little box that explains. It says this. This report is a declassified version of a highly classified assessment, semicolon. Its conclusions are identical to those in the highly classified assessment, but this version doesn't include the full supporting information on key elements of the influence campaign. So they not only say that at the outset of this report, it's literally printed on top of every single page in the report. They're saying, yeah, this is the public one. This doesn't have the sources and methods stuff that might screw with our, whatever. But it's the conclusions of this report are identical to those in the highly classified assessment, which we, the public, don't get to see. Very clear. Now, the highly classified assessment, that was commissioned by President Obama, right? He asked the intelligence community for it. He got that highly classified assessment from them yesterday. That same highly classified assessment that went to Obama yesterday went to the president-elect today, this morning. And then here's the thing. Right after that, right after he came out of that briefing where he received the highly classified version of this, he put out a written statement about what he learned in the briefing. And he blatantly and overtly, bluntly, simply lied about what is in this report. Right before this report got publicly released, so we could check for ourselves and see that he was lying. I have to say, I don't get weirded out by that much stuff in the news, but this kind of puts a shiver down my spine. Just look at this. It's very clear. This was the statement our incoming president put out after he got the highly classified version of this report. And again, the public version that we all have now, that we can all see, its conclusions are identical to those in the highly classified report. He gets briefed on the classified version of this. He comes out and he makes this statement, quote, President-elect Donald J. Trump released the following statement at the conclusion of meeting with intelligence community leaders. Here's the statement. While Russia, China, and other countries, outside groups, and people are consistently trying to break through the cyber infrastructure of our governmental institutions, businesses, and organizations, including the Democrat National Committee, quote, there was absolutely no effect on the outcome of the election. So he's saying, I just got briefed on this report. I just met with the Director of National Intelligence and the Director of the CIA and the Director of the FBI. They've given me their report, and I can tell you, the American people, having read this report, having been briefed by our intelligence community, I can now tell you, now that I've seen this report and I've been told what's in it, there was absolutely no effect on the outcome of the election. That's what he tells us. Well, here's what's actually in the report. Quote, we did not make an assessment of the impact that Russian activities had on the outcome of the election. So, our president-elect is lying to us. He says this report concluded that Russian hacking had no impact on the election. This report did not conclude that. And now we know, because we can read it ourselves, because it came out today, surprise. And that's a big lie. He also tells little lies, too. Here's what he said in this same statement to us after getting briefed on this report. He said, there were attempts to hack the Republican National Committee, but the RNC had strong hacking defenses and the hackers were unsuccessful. Really? That's what the report said? Because now I can look at the report myself now, and it doesn't say that at all. What the report says is, quote, Russia collected on some Republican-affiliated targets, but did not conduct a comparable disclosure campaign. So Russia was actually successful in stealing data and documents from the Republicans as well. They just didn't blast it back into the United States as propaganda the way they did with the Democratic stuff because they wanted Trump to win the presidency. But the president-elect lied to us about that today. He lied to us about what's in this report. The president-elect either thinks we are idiots or he didn't know that they were going to release the report today. So we didn't know we'd be able to fact-check his statement lying to us immediately against the thing he lied about? We have posted the report online. We're doing that tonight, so it's easy to find. The meat of it is only 5 pages, but the whole thing's interesting. See what you think. But also, do not believe a word the new president says on this topic.